is Digital Marketer. Today, Billie Jean Shaw.
So, Jenna, a lot of people have been asking within our community and around the internet in general, how can I create a formula to make my video ads work? How do I get more views on my video ads? How do I make those video ads turn strangers into customers? What is the secret sauce? What is the formula?
Hello, I am Jenna.
And I'm Garrett.
And you're listening to the Digital Marketer Podcast. I really love that question because we finally have an answer to it. We were able to bring in Billie Jean Shaw, CEO and founder of Billie Jean's Marketing, and he gave us the business.
He sat us down and took us to school.
Y'all, he's made ads that have been viewed over 200 million times on YouTube. An ad, not a video, an ad. And today he's going to talk about his approach to creating these winning ads.
So if you haven't heard of Billie Jean, which you probably have through his video ads, you've probably seen his face on a YouTube pre-roll. You've probably seen his face as you're scrolling through Facebook or your Instagram feed. I mean, Billie Jean is known for his outrageous advertisements.
Yeah, in your face advertisements.
His ads are definitely the definition of thumb stopping. You know, this idea of what the hell is going on? I have to watch because I'm so intrigued.
He rented a pirate ship for a video ad.
He did a Wolf of Wall Street mock. He's done rap videos. He's done musical parodies. He's this very, very creative mind behind a system that works. He is able to use these video ads to, in his own words, turn clicks into customers. And through that, you know, he's amassed over 100,000 social media followers, has been seen on YouTube and Facebook collectively over 300 million times. I mean, Billie Jean knows what's up.
And what I found most intriguing about our conversation with him is that it's not about the quality of your production. It's not about how crazy and creative you get. One of the biggest takeaways I got from this is that people buy from you because they like you.
Yeah.
So if you're just you, they'll buy.
Yeah. In this world of influencers and celebrities and access to information through social media, it's important to put a face behind your brand because people like that. People like to see who you are and feel like they're a part of that.
So, you know what? Let's just jump right in.
Billie Jean.
Billie Jean.
All right. Billie Jean, welcome to Austin.
Woo! It feels good. Came here for a bachelor party, and here we are.
There we go. Awesome. There we go. So Billie Jean. Billie Jean is Marketing, is your name. Yeah. The name of your company. People have seen your face all over the internet. But can you kind of take us back to where it all began? I mean, where did your journey into the world of marketing kind of start?
It all started with Tyler Perry.
Really?
And a lot of people hate Tyler Perry, rightfully so. And then again, he's made some really good movies and some are really bad, whatever. But nonetheless, everyone knows his name. And the reason why the company is called Billie Jean's Marketing is because I saw how much free advertising he got. So think about it. You can only really name a handful of directors, right? There's James Cameron, Quentin Tarantino, and then you're kind of like, I don't really know. Like you start really challenging, but you can name Tyler Perry, and he has like a half of the portfolio of those guys. And so I was like, how is this guy doing this? How did he just blow up? And then I figured it out. In every single movie he created for like the first 10 movies, he said, Tyler Perry presents blank.
Yep.
In all of his movies. So no matter what, you knew it was a Tyler Perry movie. So then the studio is getting behind his movies and they'll spend $20 million in advertising budget to put his name out there. Mm-hmm. So eventually he has a brand because they paid for it.
Yeah.
So it was just really smart. So I saw it and I was like, man, I need to put my name in it. So no matter what the discussion, and I want it to be synonymous with marketing. And so that's kind of like how the idea spawned. But long story short, because I hate talking about myself, is started off with an oil change company after college.
Okay.
That failed. Ended up checking people in at 24 Hour Fitness. That was as awesome as you think it would be.
Yeah.
Ended up getting my car towed with all my stuff, and I was crashing on friends' couches. Didn't have enough money to get it out, so I had to get a job. that a higher paying one at a call center. So I worked in an online school trying to enroll people into school. That was just as fun as you would think it is too.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot there. So they were doing online education when it wasn't really that thing yet. When I was there, I really got to see this emerging industry. And holy cow, these guys are selling PDFs for 50 grand. This is like, I was like, I don't understand this. Long story short, I was like, I need to get into this online education. It's going to change the world. But then I also saw how much regulation they went through because they were teaching education, selling degrees. I'm like, that seems like a nightmare. I found out the CEO of the company made $25 million in a year. I quit the next day. I said, I got to get into this online stuff. So I had a friend whose family owned a company called Self-Help Works, and they have online programs to help people quit drinking, quit smoking, lose weight, all this online stuff. So I said, can I license your courses and sell them in the online classroom format that I was used to? So they let me. So then my second company was started called Rethink and Relive. And we sold this online quit smoking program. So when I went to do that, I had this platform built. I paid $30,000 to have it built. Now, how did I get that money? Because I had a friend whose mom just sold her house and he got this big check and virtually gave it all to me to do this venture.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
And this is what I love to tell people because they go, oh, well, you had $30,000 to start your company. I'm like, no, I didn't. But I sold somebody who did the same thing that everybody listening can do. Not having money is not a real thing because there's a ton of people with money. You just have to sell them on why that's a good idea and actually have a good idea.
Yeah.
So was able to leverage that, get 30 grand. Long story short, never just start a business without consulting and getting mentorship first. Because the online platform that we used, I later found out I could have had the same exact setup for $500.
Whoa.
So all the money that we used to the company, I overpaid because of my ignorance and arrogance, thinking I could just figure it out. So now we have no money because all of our money goes into this thing. So I need to start selling. And then that is when business started for me because I realized selling is hard because you don't know who to sell and no one to talk to. So I tried like flyers. I tried to hire a call center to just start calling. I tried to buy leads. I tried to do all these things. And you realize, holy cow, no one talks about marketing. And that's when I realized the need to really, really go all in on marketing because that was the whole battle. If I had somebody to talk to, I was going to close every single time. But I had no one to talk to. Long story short, I stumbled upon this thing called Facebook ads. But at the time, you can just do write column ads. It was none of this news feed that people get to do today. It was just write column.
Right.
And I remember I put up an ad for the quit smoking program. It was for like a $5 trial. And at the end of the trial, they were billed $60. I run the ad, spend $80 on it. One person takes the trial. But it happened while I was sleeping. And I said, this is the coolest ever. And then the person canceled the next day. But I realized, holy cow, this is it. From that day on, I got obsessed. I started buying ebooks or anything I could about this Facebook so testing. I had spreadsheets and I just became an obsessive freak about conversion rate optimization and landing page. Because, you go down the rabbit hole, right? That's how I got into the game. I did that for a while. I separated with that company. We actually got into a huge fight. I was like, this is not working. And actually, I should talk about this. The reason why we got into a fight, the biggest one that made us all explode, was speed. At the time, there was no ClickFunnels. There was no lead pages at the time. Everything you did to like build out a checkout page, it took weeks, literally weeks to do with the dev team.
Yeah.
And then I found out that you could do like WordPress templates and build one in like 2 seconds. I can get it done in 2 days. So I'm trying to move at this pace. And he's like, nope, there's a process. And I just started getting frustrated and I left. I did my own thing. So now I moved back into my mom's house. I'm at square one, no money, but this time I know this Facebook ads thing. So I start calling people, companies that had ads out on Craigslist and Monster saying, hey, we need marketing help. And I'm like, yo, I know this Facebook ads thing. I don't want to work there, but can I consult? Then I started getting people to say yes. Then I started to run a video ad for myself to get clients. And then I started an agency. And it wasn't an agency. It was just, hey, I'm just a guy who knows how to sell it online. Hire me. Yeah. And then it became an agency. Yeah. Then I ended up working with some of the largest franchises in the world and all that stuff. And some clients paying up to 30 grand. But all that came. And yeah, that's how I got here.
That's
then,
amazing.
Then I did that for a long time, and then it became teaching. And then now for the last couple of years, we've just been teaching like crazy. And we still, of course, have our agency, and that's my game. That's my life.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a bunch of questions laid out, and you just answered all of them in a row. That was perfect. Thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and it's inspiring to hear from an entrepreneur, kind of that journey to get where you are today. What would you say through that entire process of building up your agency, building up your business, and going through all these ups and downs? What was the biggest challenge that you faced that you had to overcome?
I never think there's one greatest challenge anyone faces. There's just the greatest challenge at the time, right? So like in the beginning, it's all about just having a consistent lead flow so that you actually feel comfortable investing into other people and hiring and stuff. So I was running ads. That was like the staple. And I realized that's still the staple of the business today. If you're not creating opportunities, you're done. Everything I did, I just had to learn because I never had employees before. And then I had to learn how to have employees. And I never had an office before. And then I never knew how to pay people. When I started paying people, I literally would just go to the bank, get a cashier's check for that person, and give them cashier's checks every other week. So I used to be in the bank all the time. And that's all I knew. Like, I didn't know about all this payroll and HR. So, like, I literally went through each step. Even today, like where we're at today with like 20-something employees in an office downtown, I still feel like I don't know. But the difference is now I invest heavily into coaching because you realize how much mistakes can cost you. In the beginning, when you're just solo, you make a mistake. It's like, all right, whatever, I'll figure it out. But when you have dozens and dozens of people that are waiting or depending on your success, and if you don't do well, they don't get paid, the pressure changes. You can't afford to guess. That's why I'm like crazy about consulting and coaching now. But I could have gotten here a lot faster if I wasn't so arrogant in the beginning, thinking I can just like, I'm so cool.
Yeah.
So you kind of got into the business of teaching other stuff, and now you guys are blowing up. You not only have an agency, you have courses. What's the next step as far as you can't do everything?
Yeah, that's a great point. To give you guys an idea, when we had our agency, we were working with a lot of high volume franchises, so lots of locations. So I literally sent out one email and I fired hundreds of clients at the same time.
Oh.
And I said, guys, I've been struggling with this for a long time. My company is divided because I'm taking some players and putting them on teaching and education, and then I'm to focus others on the agency stuff. They're two different things, as you guys know very well. And I'm just like, honestly, can't do it. So I'm giving you guys our 30-day notice. And just like that, they were gone. Wow. And we went all in on education. And I'm so glad we did. I'm so passionate about it. And I just really genuinely believe there's a hole. And right now, if people go to school for entrepreneurship, they cannot learn what they need to succeed in any university in the world. It's fundamentally flawed. Think about if you learn by semesters or you go trimesters, right? Or whatever it is. Literally, by the time they implement something and put it as a course, it's already changed. Think about when Facebook had newsfeed ads and then they had messenger bots. No school can keep up with the speed of change, and you have to. So that's the gap we're looking to bridge for like the local chiropractor, the local real estate agent, whatever. Like we're looking to educate them on how to actually grow a real business in 2018, 19 and beyond. So that's our passion. That's our whole gung-ho. I'm all about that. And there's nothing for it.
I always say, the best thing that you get out of college is just learning how to live. Yeah. Learning how to live on your own,
There you go. That's real.
And that education is falling behind. Mm-hmm. There are so many gaps, It's like you go pick up a textbook and it's like, oh, this is the 2014 edition. And I'm learning about marketing. How is this even relevant in today's time?
So when I started my oil change company right after college, that was one of my frustrations because I went to the University of San Diego. Everything I learned was like relevant to like a giant Fortune 500 company. You know what I mean? Like, such a small percentage of people go that route. I'm like, so when you learn about marketing in textbook, it's like price, product, promotion, but they don't tell you what the promotion is. It's like, what do you mean? That's the whole thing. Yeah. So a lot of missing gaps.
No doubt. So I want to shift over to video. You're big on video.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows your face, it's from these amazing advertisements that you put out in the world, but it's not really an ad, it's content.
Short movies.
What yeah. Kind of walk.
So fun.
Seriously. I mean, the wolf of
paid advertising?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so good. So
thank you.
With all of the emergence in the publishing world, it was the pivot to video and video ads becoming this big thing. I mean, you kind of got at it before everyone else.
Yeah.
And what kind of pushed you to go towards video and what kind of inspired you to move into this, here's how to do it, and you got to go with video?
I got lucky because I've always loved video, but I only loved video because I was such a shitty student. So what I mean by that is the teachers would be like, so you guys need to do this PowerPoint presentation and present it in the class. I'm like, teacher, look, I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to do a PowerPoint presentation. Can I do a video instead? And I would get obsessed making these funny videos, and I'd see myself staying up all night to do it, and then I fell in love with it. So when I started like the ad agency, I needed to get customers. I did video because I just thought it was easier. And that's how like I kind of got open to it. But then also, I had so many limiting beliefs when I first started doing video. I was young, low 20s. I was this black kid who didn't finish his last class in college, and I was trying to sell to these middle-aged white dudes. And I'm like, my personality's out there. So I'm like, man, how can I be persuasive out there? And I remember this one thing: nothing sells like proof. So what I used to do is I used to record the results I was getting with clients because I felt like I had so much to prove. So I did videos because I was trying to overcome all of these other limiting beliefs, because I'm like, all right, I may be all of these things, but if I can just show them what I did and I can document it. And that's literally what took me from living at my mom's house to making one video ad showing how I was like selling these physical products and killing it. And then it just said, call now if you'd like me to do the same for your business. That one video ad took me to 10 grand the next day.
Wow.
The next day. And then I got addicted to video because of the results that it got.
Yeah.
So then it became, I was doing videos by myself. I started really to like it. Then I would get creative and do these funny ones, and then people would remember me. So now it was a remembering thing. How can I stand out? And it was like, oh, you're the guy who does the videos. Oh, you're the guy who does the videos. I'm like, yeah. So then I started building a team. Now we have a team of 5 internally, and all we do is make videos. So like my favorite thing now is to like write and produce and tell these stories. My specialty is telling stories, but I'm also a salesman at the core. I used to sell cards. My strength is storytelling, but storytelling with selling at the same time and being open about it and making it fun. So now when people see our advertisements in the newsfeed, it's not like, another sponsored story. It's like, oh, it's a Billie Jean ad. Let me see what they're doing now. And so it's a fun position.
Can you walk us through or tell us about your favorite video campaign that you've ever run? And then part 2 of that question is, what was the highest converting video campaign you ever ran?
Okay.
They may be the same.
I'll even add a third. So the reason why video is so important is pretty basic, but a lot of people oversee it. And it's this. Everyone understands that people buy from people because they like you, right? So when you're not showing video, you're not giving the customer the opportunity to like you. Sure, you can do it a little bit in copywriting. Sure, you can do a little bit with a still image, but nothing comes close to that of a video. When you see a video of someone, you can see their mannerisms, their body language, like how they come off, their energy, and starting to like someone. Now, I would say my favorite video, probably the Wolf of Paid Advertising, only because my team thought it was a dumb idea. But they always think it's a dumb idea every time, because they are dumb ideas most of the time. But I was just like, I watched The Wolf of Wall Street last night. We need to do like a parody of that and like do this fun spinoff. But also too, because I called in a bunch of people. One of my buddies who we were really good at making videos together, this other camera crew, like we just went all out. We went all out. And I remember the feeling when it was done. And we were sitting there in the conference room and we watched it back. And we were so into the project, we literally couldn't tell if it was good or not. Like, you guys know how it is. Like, you're just doing something. When you're so attached, so I'm watching it back. I'm like, I don't know what the people are going to think about this. And then we put it out, and it was just like, boom, it is an explosion.
That's awesome.
It felt good to, like, take the risk and for the risk to pay off.
No doubt.
You know? So I think that was, like, the most rewarding. And then the flip side of that, the most profitable, dude, it's always as simple as ads. It's me outside of the office. I literally walk up to the camera and say, hey, if you're a marketer, there's something I want to show you. I turn my shoulder. I go into the office. I go up to my smartboard, and I just start drawing out the basic fundamentals of lead generation. And I say, register for a training. It's like one camera, so unsexy. It was the best performing by far.
Wow.
Second to none. And then, the second best performing ad is redoing that same ad 2 years later in a different jacket.
Huh. I was going to ask, how many times have you repeated that or been able to repeat it?
I mean, that ad, we probably used it for like a year, maybe longer. And still every now and then, like it just...
Yeah, bring it back. Float it to the top every once in a while.
When it works, it works,
That's right.
So like I tell everybody that you guys have to start looking at your video content like people look at real estate. You look at real estate as an asset that can pay you off for a long time, right? So can your videos. People aren't seeing that like content is a real asset that you own that can be leveraged to make money. So you should treat it accordingly.
One thing I really like about that video, just to kind of go back to it, I love that video because I keep not knowing what you're going to show me next. You give them a little payoff and you're like, yeah, this is like my studio. Oh, come on, this is stuff. Let me show you this. I want to see the next thing so bad.
So like I'm glad you recognize. Thank you for saying that, because like everyone, your videos, if you want people to continue watching, curiosity is the word you should be obsessed with. If people are watching and there's no reason for them to continue watching other than they're just watching your video, you're going to lose every single time. They have to have a genuine curiosity that says, I might as well just keep watching and see where he's going. All right, like when I look in the camera and I say, hey, come with me, officer, there's something I want to show you, you're like, well, what's he going to show me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I give you these distractions along the way, like, hey, what's up to my team? And da-da-da. And then I'm like, okay, hey, I'm going to show you upstairs in just a second. You know, and even the Wolf of Paid Advertising, I say in there like 6 or different times, breaking down the fourth wall is everything, you guys. Talk to your audience. Like, literally, look at the camera and be like, you know we're shooting an ad, right? If you guys have seen Deadpool 2, they talk to the audience all the time, right? Like, he literally, and
breaking that fourth wall.
Breaking down the fourth wall is everything, you guys. Do it. It works. It'll make you money.
That's why even, on SNL, anytime someone breaks, people go crazy for it. They love it.
Yeah.
It's the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've always thought that a business's office, especially when video is involved, is a character in and of itself.
Yes. Amen.
Oh, I love
Amen.
that.
That's real.
I was basically saying that because I was wondering if you agreed with that. Because your office, I know your office because of your ads.
Yep.
And that's crazy to me.
Well, you know what it does too is it makes it this desirable location that people want to come and experience. So every time, so we get, especially being in San Diego, like people can walk by our office, and so the people come by all day and they'll just take pictures of the sign, like literally every single day. There's several people who would take pictures just because they see it, like, oh, that's that thing, or that's that guy, or like, this is kind of a side note, but I think it's worth for the audience. Everyone, it is insane how much people want to be associated with fame. And this goes beyond me, just period. So I was speaking at an event, and there were several of us there, and Ty Lopez was there too. So if you guys don't know who Ty Lopez is, it's a guy who wears glasses and says, hey, I'm here in my garage. He's got a bunch of cars and girls and stuff like that. You've probably seen him. You love or hate him, doesn't really matter. I was just at this mastermind, and Ty was guest speaking. And every single time I've spoke with him or I've seen him speak, it is insane how many people will go up to him, ask for pictures to be associated. I've never seen anything like it. Of every speaker that you guys can think of, no one comes even close. And I go, that's so funny, because I'll see the people that will be like, I don't like his marketing tactics, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't matter, because the desire to be famous supersedes it every single time, or be associated with the fame. It's weird. So with your brands, people just want to be with you if you're well known. So that's why we go so hard on paid advertising, because it works. Because of that association, desire. I don't know. It was kind of tangent, but it just freaked me out. Like, there's billionaires and these people who have cured cancer, and they're like, nah, I want the picture with Ty Lopez, because people know who he is.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, especially too, you've done a lot on YouTube, and YouTube is just this platform of characters, platform of influencers. And I want to dive into this a little bit in terms of YouTube. Why did you kind of put this huge initiative towards YouTube, and what kind of value do you see for marketers on YouTube as a platform?
2 reasons. Everybody was coming into Facebook, and I like to be ahead of the curve. I got to be on the next thing. Second, videos are the thing, and I felt stupid for us not using it. And then third, our cost per lead just went down so much.
Really?
We were spending $10 to get a lead on Facebook, at scale, when we're really going. We put that same funnel on YouTube, $1.83.
No kidding.
It literally changed our business.
Wow.
But then here was the byproduct of it that I didn't notice, going with that whole theme of fame, so to speak. YouTube, people remember you. Facebook, they're scrolling. It's very easy to overlook somebody, and they count it as a view. YouTube, when you can't skip that ad, they see you. And YouTube doesn't even charge you until 30 seconds into the ad. You're getting all these free impressions, and people are seeing it. So our ads have been seen 200 million times in the last X amount of time or whatever. And people are literally, I pulled up to this hotel, and I get in, and he goes, oh my God, you're the YouTube guy. What? Okay, I'll take it. Whatever.
Great,
you know? Yeah. So it
Yeah.
it works. It works. It works. If you're a real estate agent in a local city and you have a couple zip codes that you sell in, you should be going all in on YouTube ads. You guys want to spend all your money on a billboard because you want to be associated with the highest level of fame, which is what they're doing, when realistically you should be the person who shows up on YouTube and everybody will recognize you. Go nuts.
It's also interesting that you say that, because Facebook is so interest-based, so you're just, you're getting people so at the top, and you're hitting so many more warm leads with the intent based on YouTube. I'm wondering if you make any changes to those videos, like based on that, or like your CTA or anything like that.
So what's funny is most of the ad sets that do well for us on YouTube aren't like the intent based. It's usually kind of like interest, just like Facebook. Okay. So we kind of use it more so like Facebook. So for example, we'll target people who watch Shark Tank on Facebook. We'll target people who watch Shark Tank on YouTube. And then also too, a lot of it comes from like other influencers. So like when people are looking up certain people and we know we're similar brand or similar message, we can add value to that. That's a big targeting features for us. But we try all kinds of stuff. Probably the intent-based part is like probably the least part about it with YouTube actually.
Interesting. Yeah.
And we definitely do like how to use Facebook ads and blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like, so Hector, who I'm with, I mean, that's all he does all day is I have 3 people who are dedicated to just doing our ads for Billie Jean Marketing full time. So right now, if you guys are listening, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs are making this mistake, you're trying to hire somebody cheap for social media, and then you're giving them the task to run ads, and you're giving them the task to create content, and you're giving them literally like 6 jobs for one person, and you're wondering why you aren't getting your ROI. You're wondering why nothing is moving. Guys, every single one of those is an individual job that virtually you can spend all day on. All day. No Especially doubt. The advertising side, as y'all know better than anyone. Like, it's crazy.
How do you hire people that you know are going to be good?
You know what we've been doing for fun? You guys can actually check these out. We've done a lot of live group interviews. Like literally Facebook Live with hundreds of people watching. And 5 people.
Crazy awesome. Oh my God.
We have them online. They're so entertaining. It'll make your head spin because it's real. And watch this. I walk in and now watch this. Entertaining, right? So already the concept's good. Yep. So now we're getting content. People get to see our whole thing, but it's real. I don't meet the people before. I specifically tell my team, do not show me anything. I don't want to know anything. I walk up there and we just go from the start. Wow. Now, the reason why we did that is because when someone works at our company, guess what? You're on video all day. You may be live all day. You may be asked to dress up in something weird and be a character from Willy Wonka, So it's a real thing. So therefore, I said, we need to make our hiring process is an opportunity to expose the potential candidate to what it would really be like to work here as possible. And that's why the format worked well. And we've hired probably 4 people who currently work there that are actually came from the group interview and are thriving in the company. That's cool. super effective. So weird tactic there. Who's doing it right now? And, as we grow, we'll probably change this process a little bit. But my assistant, she has a background with hiring too. She actually talks to the candidates initially. We'll put out a post, and we would put a lot of personality in our post, and we try and scare people away as much as possible. But when she talks to people, she is literally asking questions almost in my voice. We spend so much time together, she knows. So she's really able to weed people out very, very quickly. So by the time they get to me in the group interview, we already know they're qualified. Now it's like, Billy, do they have those things that you want to add to the culture?
Yeah, cool. It's crazy how similar when we really look at our own process. Once we get to the group interview, they're qualified. We're not asking about
exactly you
their
don't
skills.
Care at that point.
It's like, can I hang out with you? Can I grab a beer with you? Do you have the same, like you were saying, core values?
Yeah.
One thing that I hear all too often is my ads just aren't working. What am I doing wrong? And it's like, there's no process set up. There's no funnel set up. Everyone thinks, I made this, I put it out there, I spent $10,000 and nothing's happening.
Facebook took my money, it's a scam.
Yeah, so
scam it.
So what are people getting wrong there? What are people who are using videos or using YouTube as an advertising platform?
Too many people look at, they want advertising to be black and white, meaning do this, and get this result. It just doesn't work that way. It's all gray. Advertising was 100% gray. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't, depending on the location. Now, you can do formulas to get you close, but if you don't actually understand how to fix a broken advertisement, a funnel, a landing page, a headline, you are useless. So you really have to own the skill set and stop looking for that quick shortcut or win, because it doesn't exist in the world of advertising. You have to understand it. You have to be able to read the data. You have to be able to make changes. And also, too, most of the time, you guys run ads and you miss completely. And then you just come back and you change like the color of your landing page and you think that's going to get you the result. Like you need to offer swap. We should split test 1,000 times more. Most of ours is just switching the offer, period. Switching the offer, switching the offer, switching the offer. If you want a giant change in your ads, the offer is going to do it. And then if people aren't engaging, change the front end. So we just switch between our offer, the front end, and then the last thing I switch is the sales part, the sales mechanism, like a VSL or whatever, because it takes forever to do. It's just harder to test.
Yeah,
No
that
doubt.
makes sense.
We always like to ask this. You've been through a lot. You've gone through so many different areas of the business world, the marketing world. What's something now that you know that you wish you could tell your 25-year-old self?
As I am 30 now, it was May 1st, 2018. And this is 5 years ago. Wow. Understand business is not the only thing to life. What happens is business really does take over your whole life. It'll completely consume you, but you have an identity outside of your business. And if you don't consistently work on that, you lose yourself in just being the business. So like right now I'm at this place where I'm like, damn, like someone asked me, they're like, what hobbies do you have? I'm like, what do you mean? Work? You know?
Yeah.
Xbox is one. But I just realized, Billy, take care of yourself and go all in on taking care of yourself. Mentally, physically, coaching-wise, relationship-wise, intellectually, like really invest into yourself outside of just business, but just being a better human being. I probably would have started a lot of self-work sooner.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's
Love
awesome.
that. We just got back from a conference and we listened to CEOs from all of these different companies talk about that same exact thing.
real. It's
You
a real
have to
thing.
take care of yourself.
It's a real thing.
It matters. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your people.
Yeah.
You know, we're all humans. Totally. Well, thank you for sharing that, man. That's really awesome.
Rock and roll.
So I'm
So-
going to have a bubble bath with a glass of wine tonight.
There you go. There
But
you
watch this.
go.
It's easy for people outside looking in to try and make you feel selfish for those moments, but those moments is what allows you to give. Lori Harder, a friend of mine, we had a really deep conversation, and she just says, Billy, I'm listening to you, and you're trying to find all your happiness from giving and giving and giving, and you think that should make you happy. She goes, but if you were a glass of water and you keep giving, what happens? You run out of water. She said, what are you doing to fill up? Bubble bath and wine.
Bubble bath and wine. I might do
Bubble
that
bath and
tonight
wine.
too.
Yeah, hey, let's
I
all
might do
do
that
it.
tonight too.
Rev Run style.
Thank you so much for joining us, Billy. Absolute pleasure. I gained a lot from this. I'm sure you did too.
Samesies.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
I hope y'all listening to this gained a lot. So, Billy, where can people find out about you? Where can people find out about your business?
Guys, just follow us on Instagram, Billie Jean is Marketing. Like us on Facebook, Billie Jean is Marketing. And subscribe to us on YouTube, Billie Jean is Marketing. We put out so much content, and it's always actionable that you can put into your life right now to make an impact. So follow us. And then I will sell you something when you follow us.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much again, Billy. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
That was an interview.
There it was.
Yeah. So, something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and something that I think all of us are guilty of, is this idea of, we are taught to focus on what's best for the customer. But too often we find ourselves falling back into the, idea of, are we making the best choice for our company? Are we making the best choice for the bottom line? And we forget to ask the question of, are we making the best choice for the customer? And while all of that matters, while all of that is super important to sit there and focus on what's best for the bottom line, Billy talks about this idea of, he made sacrifices to do what he was passionate about, to pursue an idea that he knew was more valuable to him in a way that was going to make him more successful, regardless of what it was going to do in the moment. Taking that time to really focus in on the coaching aspect, really focus in on providing this information to people so that they could become better marketers, all whilst being associated with fame. Billie Jean is all over the internet. People know his face, and he's his best customer advocate.
Sometimes it's not about the perfect product and the perfect platform and the right price, the orange buy button.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Sometimes it's really just people seeing you for you and connecting with that and clicking the button.
Yeah. And the way that Billy kind of broke down his, answer to what do you wish you could tell your younger self? What do you wish you could tell your 25-year-old self? And he talks about this idea of taking time to focus on him, taking time to look back on his own life and not just put everything into his business. I think that's so important because you're able to learn so much about your business from yourself. And if you're not focusing on yourself, it's hard to focus on your customers. I think that's a really, really valuable lesson. If you want to take care of your customers, you got to take care of yourself.
Well, I hope that you guys got as much out of this as Garrett and I did today.
Yeah. It was a fun experience to meet the man behind all the ads. You know, he is a celebrity in this industry. People know his face, and it was really great to sit down and really see the person behind it all. Yeah.
And what is really the best thing to me is that the person behind it isn't all that different from the person in front of it. Well, thank you so much, Garrett.
Thank you so much, Jenna. And thank you all for listening. This was another episode of the Digital Marketer Podcast. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, show us some love, send us a review if you like what you hear. And we'll see you back here, same time, same place next week.
Bye.
Bye.